This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. Good morning, everybody. Looking sharp as a knife.
I think it's sharp as a tack.
I think that's better, too.
And for me to say that, because I get all of those things wrong.
Proud of you, buddy. I am proud of you.
There's some knives that are not sharp.
Tacks?
No, knives.
Oh.
Butter knives aren't sharp.
That's true.
Those knives you use to cut fancy cheese aren't that sharp.
A oyster shucking knife? Okay. We are starting today with the Supreme Court. Much better than this. They have agreed to weigh in on Trump's claim that he is immune from criminal prosecution on charges that he tried to overturn the 2020 election while president. So they are going to hear arguments in the case at the end of April. Here to talk to us about what this all means and how it may affect his other pending criminal cases, we've got a cutie, veteran trial attorney and friend of the show, Mark Eigelaars is joining us.
Oh, so wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Always. I always feel like he's joking, but I'm not sure. Can you explain what this case is about and what Trump is specifically arguing, Mark?
He's specifically saying that he's immune from criminal prosecution, meaning you can't prosecute me for anything I did criminally while in office. And his ruling will then serve as a precedent for all future presidents. If the Supreme Court says, hey, Trump, you get a pass, then every single president in the future gets a pass for any criminal conduct they have allegedly committed while in office.
Sounds like a dictatorship. Sorry.
Sounds like a really good way to get away with murder. What have the courts had to say about this so far?
Well, so far, the lower courts have not been in favor of Trump's very novel approach to the law. They've said, okay, you get a pass on civil liability, meaning anything non-criminal. Yeah, we don't want presidents looking over their shoulders and being sued civilly. So you get a pass. But criminally, no. We're going to allow prosecutors to bring cases against presidents they believe commit criminal acts.
Well, you know, the timing of this was weird for me. Did the Supreme Court, first have to hear this case, and what does it mean that they decided to hear it?
Well, first, they did not. I mean, thousands of people petition the U.S. Supreme Court, and they reject most of the petitions they get. They're saying this is a matter of great public importance, with great significance. So they agreed to hear it. They definitely didn't have to. And the timing is key. Now, we don't know how long. They could take however long they want. They have lifetime appointments. They don't answer to anybody. But I believe they're going to make a quick ruling. They did it in Watergate. It took them 16 days to resolve the issue that came before them then. Gore versus Bush, remember that controversy?
Yeah.
Literally, the day after the argument, they had a ruling. I suspect you're going to have a ruling fairly quickly, which will then increase the chances of this matter going to trial before November's election.
Wow. Okay, so Mark, first and foremost, you brought up precedents earlier. That is my biggest concern. I don't care if this is Trump or Biden or anybody. I don't care. I care about the fact that are we living in a free democracy or are we living in an authoritarian dictatorship? So
See,
you know the law better than anybody.
Samantha, I love that about you. You're a fair-minded person who doesn't think about it from the lens that you look at the political landscape through. You say, okay, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So whatever the Supreme Court decides as it relates to Donald Trump is now precedent for every future president. And if you follow history, there may be a Democrat in the White House again. So all Republicans need to think, do I want every Democratic president being able to commit whatever criminal act they want and then never get prosecuted for it because they have immunity? Similarly, Democrats need to look at it the other way as well. So, yeah, it sets an unbelievable precedent.
Thank you.
It's a double diamond times 3 slippery slope. I was trying to make a ski joke.
Wow.
Oh, no.
I don't go skiing.
It wasn't a joke,
Was
but that
that-
was a
was that a-
statement.
was that a
There
record?
wasn't a punchline.
Like there's a slippery slope, but it's a ski slope.
That's an
But I believe
analogy.
that was a record for the most amount of metaphors in one
I'm
sentence.
so sorry.
Amazing.
Objection
Wow.
sustained. What does this
Yeah.
mean, Mark, for the upcoming trial that he allegedly tried to overturn the 2020 election? And also, answer me this. Any other person who appointed the justices in their own trial the justices would recuse themselves. How do you feel that Trump is the defendant in a case in which he appointed by lifetime 3 of the justices that is going to hear this case? Do they not have some favoritism there?
Well, they may. I'd like to think that they would objectively decide this case. But you're right. Politics play a role in everything, right? So they're not going to recuse themselves either. I would like to believe that these are fair-minded individuals who are making a decision not just for Trump, but for every future president. So let's say a president in the future, whether it be Trump or someone else, says, okay, Navy SEALs, I want you to go out there and shoot to kill everyone who says anything bad about me or who's wearing a anti-fill-in-the-blank, Trump or anti-Biden T-shirt. Somehow, if you apply Trump's theory, then that president could get away with having to go to trial for anything. It would escape justice. That makes no sense. So whether you were appointed by Trump, whether you lean to the left, I'd like to think that fair-minded people would say, listen, if you commit criminal acts while you're in office, you need to go to trial. And I'm not saying he did anything wrong. Let's reduce the hate mail, please. I'm saying he just needs to go to trial and let a jury decide.
From your lips to God's ears that they're fair.
I mean, we succeed on hate alone, Mark, you know? I mean, don't worry about the hate mail. We just want to know the truth. This feels like an episode of The Traitors right now. So I want to know if people can be fair-minded. So does this case affect the other pending criminal charges against Trump, like the classified documents case?
Well, he's going to use it as precedent. If somehow he prevails, for sure lawyers for Trump will argue any acts that committed while in office, he gets blanket immunity over everything that he did wrong, which is, again, why I can't envision the Supreme Court taking a contrary position than the lower courts took, which was, no, man, you need to face trial for anything that you allegedly did that was criminal while in office.
I do want to ask a quick follow-up question, just in your opinion, Mark. If it is found that he is he's not found to be immune, aren't we kind of saying that he's going to stay in office forever? Because why would he leave office if he knows he's going to be prosecuted
that's a good point.
as soon as he leaves? If he is to be reelected, but they find that he is not immune to being prosecuted, aren't we just saying you should stay in office forever, or at least attempt to?
I think that that's the route. But here's what he's hoping. He's hoping that the Supremes take their time, and if he somehow can get into office, he will then, and he's convicted, he will pardon himself. Pardon me. You know, he will pardon himself for those crimes. So that's what he's hoping for, I believe.
Power we have never seen before, power grabbing that we've never seen before. Let us know. Some people are out very happy about this and want to see justice on the other side. Mark, thank you so much for joining us on DBL. For more information on Mark and his law firm and how he does his hair, go to speaktomark.com. Coming up on DBL. Thank you so much, Mark. We are remembering comic and actor Richard Lewis by taking a look back at his career throughout the years. Plus, award-winning journalist Ashley Banfield is taking us behind the scenes of her new true crime series.
They can't release a trend.
We're going to get into his diagnosis quickly.
Okay.
And then kind of a longer
Erica, I was thinking that. I mean, we are kind of almost
then you're going to go
sadly forcing his hand. I mean, he clearly was doing everything he could to not leave office the first time. But if he knows that he can be criminally prosecuted and he has taken loss after loss in court, he has no reason to think that he wouldn't lose some of these criminal cases and face jail time. So why would he ever leave?
I don't know if anyone ever
didn't look at this as a Hail Mary. It's like,
Thank you.
what other option do, I've never thought like he had so many other options. I've always thought this was the only option.
To me, I agree with Erica. I thought it would always end up in SCOTUS, which is the Supreme Court. He was always going to deny, appeal, delay. And what everyone's writing about is, will this be after the election? Is he going to delay so far that none of this matters because this trial will happen after the election?
Is it a criminal or civil
This is
case
about
starting?
criminal.
Yeah.
No, starting next month.
Oh,
He's got one. That's the Stormy Daniels. That's
correct. That's civil.
No, I think that's criminal.
Is it the Stormy
Because
Daniels?
that's campaign finance violation.
Oh, that is a federal case. That is criminal. I apologize.
Sure, and maybe I'm just not understanding this, but like, it seems to me like a lot of people are obviously in favor of Trump being back in office.
Absolutely.
They want to delay the proceedings. They want to do all of these different things. But I feel like that's just one point. No one's looking at what the fallout will be after they get this one win. So what does this mean for you and your family economically? What does this mean for the structure
The grifter.
of democracy? Right.
The grifter.
So it's like,
He is the great grifter. He's not going to care about you. Welcome back. We have some really sad news. Comedian Richard Lewis passed away yesterday at age 86 from a heart attack. Last year, he was announced he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And less than 3 weeks ago, in one of his final interviews, he told people he was doing, quote, quite well. Richard was known for his neurotic and self-deprecating style of comedy in the 80s and 90s. He made appearances on The Tonight Show and The Late Show with David Letterman. And in 1989, he landed a leading role with Jamie Lee Curtis in the ABC sitcom Anything But Love. Richard then appeared in movies such as Robin Hood, Men in Tights, remember this? And in most recent years, I'm sure many of you know, he's known for playing a semi-fictionalized version of himself throughout the 24 years of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Many tributes are pouring in, including from Larry David, who shared a statement saying, quote, Richard and I were born 3 days apart in the same hospital room, and for most of my life, he's been like a brother to me. He had that rare combination of being the funniest person and also the sweetest. But today, he made me sob, and for that, I'll never forgive him. Jamie Lee Curtis posted pictures from Anything But Love with a lengthy caption ending with, quote, he's also the reason I am sober. He helped me. I am forever grateful for him and for that act of grace alone.
So, yeah.
As a comedian.
As a sober comedian, what do you think about Richard Lewis?
It's interesting. I mean, just to hear the way that we're covering his death. See, I always thought of him as kind of making angst and having neuroses, like not only normalized but funny.
Yes.
He was famously like very OCD. I worked with him a couple times in stand-up. He would come through South Florida all the time, and he was one of those few comics. He never went to the green room. He walked right on stage from wherever he came from and walked right out the back door.
Is that right?
I don't think I ever spoke to him.
By the way, I think I said 86. He was 76. I want to make sure I was corrected to that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm just saying he was one of those guys who was very about a controlled environment. If you think about after a stand-up comedy show, there's a lot of stuff you can get into, and I think he was very protective of his sobriety like that. I don't know how much of that was versus the OCD, but he was just like such an interesting character, and he would get on, and his audience would be there to see him and kind of dig, see what he was kind of kvetching about.
You said it right.
Yeah,
say it.
Kvetching.
Kvetching. Say it quicker.
Kvetching.
Kvetching. Kvetching.
Kvetching.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that Yiddish?
Yes, it's Yiddish.
Yes. It's
yes, that's good. I'm kvetching.
Yes, I was like, I hope that's not a bad word. But yeah, it's a really sad day for stand-up and for comedy in general. But how many laughs did he give people?
I know.
And he's known for also his tough love that he gave Artie Lang on Howard Stern.
Oh, wow.
Trying to talk to him about getting sober and being real about what's happening. So he was a real one.
Good on him. And his love for Joyce, his wife, was unending. We'll be right back.
welcome back. We've all seen the gruesome true crime headlines, but now Ashley Banfield is taking a deep dive into some of the most prolific cases on her new show, Crime Nation. Earlier, we talked to her all about it.
I have seen cases fall apart based on false confessions.
The prosecution says they can't release a transcript of the confessions because of the gag order by the courts.
Ashley Banfield, welcome to DBL. Good to see you.
Hey guys, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So Ashley, I'm a true crime junkie. So what kind of new information will Crime Nation bring to life?
Well, I'm so glad, first of all, to hear that you're a fan of true crime. And it turns out that you join millions and millions of people who have sort of flocked to this genre in the last 5 to 10 years. And I think there's a good reason why. I think, for starters, we go to movie theaters and we're enthralled by these cinematic dramas that take us through a mystery. And then we walk out of the theater and realize it's happening right here in my backyard. It's happening all around me for real. And then I can get on the interwebs and I can actually be a part of the sleuthing community. There are a lot of true crime sleuths out there that, for better or for worse, get very involved in putting the puzzle pieces together. And if you think about it, guys, homicide detectives are a limited number and a limited budget. Even the FBI has a limited budget. So to have hundreds of thousands of eyeballs out there scanning every frame of video on a story and looking through every piece of social media on a story and finding clues, that can be very helpful.
So, you've been covering these kinds of cases for a while, and they are gruesome and sad, and these are real people at the base of them. So are there any cases that stick with you after the work is over?
Yeah, so many of them stick with me, and I'm going to give you an example of one in particular, Al, that I just thought about it before I came on with you guys. In Delphi, Indiana, 7 years ago, Libby German and Abby Williams, two just barely reaching their teens girls, went for a walk. 13 and 14 years old. They went out for a walk on a hiking trail, and they disappeared. And then their bodies were found the next day. And we are now 7 years later, and we still don't have resolution in that case because we don't have someone brought to justice for it. We've got somebody in jail awaiting trial, Richard Allen, and that trial should be this fall. But we don't have resolution. That's what sticks with me oftentimes.
Yeah, I believe that. As a mom of two, I can't imagine.
I actually remember that case.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what these family members must be going through. Okay, let me ask you this, Ashley, because why is it that Americans, especially women, have such a fascination with true crime stories?
I think it's also that whole notion of being able to be a part of it. Nobody really got online before, like a book club, and joined the sleuthing community before. And even if they don't join the sleuthing community actively, they can passively look and see what the latest developments are moment to moment. They don't have to wait for a news program. They can literally see some of the puzzle solving in real time online. Whether it's being solved accurately is a whole other kettle of fish. And on Crime Nation, we're taking this very seriously. We're not only looking at what they're doing online, but we're then placing that next to fact and evidence so that whomever is following what they're following online can see whether it checks out or not. I think that is a big fascination for people. They want to know what the resolution is, but they also desire the accuracy and can't always find it on the internet.
What do you think about sensationalizing true crime, though?
Yeah, that is the downside. Just like there's a downside for crime sleuthers who start pointing the finger at people, which they should never be doing. Only the police should be doing that. There is that notion that this can be sensationalized. And one thing that we never forget, whether it's on News Nation or whether it's on Crime Nation, is that there are real people involved here. There are real people who are suffering and want justice for their loved one, their friend, their family, their colleague. This is not something that should be ogled.
Right.
This is something we should be a part of as good citizens, because guess what justice is? It's us.
Yeah.
We're the jurors. We are the judges. We're electing the people who bring people to justice. It is a good citizenry that says, when I get my jury summons, I will do that. I'm not going to try to get out of it, because if everybody tries to get out of it, we have no justice in this country. It is a good democratic thing to be a part of the justice system. It's also a good democratic thing to remember that there are real victims involved.
Well said, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. To our viewers, you can catch Crime Nation right now on CW. Thank you again. Good to see you. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Welcome back. We have got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out. Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hey Tori, hi DBL Nation. I am super excited to show you all of the lovely deals today. So let's go shopping. First up, we're looking in the kitchen because we've got the Roberts & Belk Adeline 60-piece flatware set. This deal includes 12 dinner forks, 12 salad forks, 12 butter knives, 12 soup spoons, and 12 dessert spoons.
Everything.
Normally this is $129.
Right, normal. I get it.
We've got it for $29.99, that's saving 61%.
I think that's stunning. I think it's a beautiful design.
And now check out this. This is really handy. It's the AlphaGo Med Upper Arm Electronic Blood Pressure Monitor. This deal includes one pressure machine with a cuff, which is ideal for home blood pressure monitoring. Normally this is $30.
Okay.
We've got it for $14.99. That's saving 50% for it. And check out this. This is handy. This is the SoundStream Premium True Wireless Stereo Earbuds.
Hello.
This deal includes one pair of earbuds with a case and 3 sets of ear tips and ear wings. We've got it available in black or in white. So normally this is $180. We've got it for $15. That's saving 92%. Isn't that wild?
That's almost all the way off. That's almost 100% off.
And then our last product today is the Cloth & Gable Reversible Down Alternative Comforter Set.
Nice.
This deal includes one comforter and 2 shams, but only one sham if you order twin size, okay?
Got it.
We've got it available in 4 colors. We've got sizes king, queen, and twin. You're gonna enjoy snuggling up with this customer favorite.
Nice, it's all cozy.
Oh, I know. So normally it's between $100 to $130. We've got it for $29.99 to $34.99. That's saving 73%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code on screen to take you directly to all these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph. Everybody, it's a leap day. You can get free dozen glazed donuts at Krispy Kreme for $2.29. You can get free guac on Chipotle, and also at Staples, 29,000 free passport photos.
Yes.
23,000? 29,000 for February 29th.
Yes. All right, get that done. Go for
She's
the
on
guac.
board. She's on board. Free guac.
Get the
Bye,
guac.
guys. We'll see you tomorrow.